Hello, I'm Ninja Greg, and you're watching The Ninja Greg Show. And this is my review of Big Momma's House. What's the general synopsis of this movie? Well, FBI agent Malcolm Turner has to go undercover as the long-lost grandmother of convict Lester Vesto, played by Terrence Howard. Now, Vesto's out for revenge because he thinks that his ex-girlfriend, Sherry Pierce, kind of screwed him over on the bank robbery job that he pulled off, because it was kind of let on that it was an inside job, but I'll reveal later that it wasn't. Not everything is what it seems. Turner and his partner, played by Paul Giamatti, they go over to Big Momma's house, roll credits, to surveillance it and see if anything goes down, because later on Sherry calls up Big Momma and asks if she can come over, but she doesn't know that, the night before, Big Momma left kind of unexpectedly to go out of town to visit somebody who was in the hospital, and so with no Big Momma, Turner decides to take her place and let Sherry stay there so he can get her to try and talk about what actually happened, so he can figure out, okay, is she innocent or is she guilty? Because if they don't know, when they have to arrest Vesto, then she's got to go down with him, because technically she was an accessory. Now, what are some of the positives of this movie? Well, it's got quite a few big names in it. Paul Giamatti, Martin Lawrence, like I said, Terrence Howard. So yeah, they really did get some big name actors for this. It also stars Anthony Anderson, and it's actually directed by Roger Gosnell, the same man responsible for the crappy live-action Smurf movie. Make of that what you will. And it's a comedy, and yes, it's funny, but I don't know, I've seen this kind of premise done better. You know, where the main character is a man cross-dressing as a woman, and he's kind of weaving this web of deception where he can't reveal his true identity for whatever reasons. You've seen it in Mrs. Doubtfire and White Chicks, and you know what? In both those movies, this kind of setup's a lot funnier. I'll give this movie some credit, though. It really did make me laugh. There's some funny lines, and there's a baby delivery scene that's absolutely hilarious. And yeah, there is some bathroom humor in it, which, even though I laughed at it, I do understand some people may find that a little distasteful. So there you go. And given the setting and the fact that they're somewhere in Georgia, it kind of follows some of the black stereotypes, like Big Momma, real name Hattie Mae, is the stereotypical black church woman, and there actually is a really clever scene where when they go to church, the preacher, played by Cedric the Entertainer, asks Hattie Mae to come up and testify. And so Turner, as Big Momma, goes up there, and through some clever dialogue about how you can't keep secrets, how you can't go on deceiving people. Yeah, real subtle, guys. You see it kind of working on Sherry to kind of come clean with her secret, which it turns out that it wasn't really an inside job when Vesto robbed the bank. He stole the keys to the vault from her, and he stole all the money, but she still feels bad about it. But she's really not at fault. So yeah, again, that's a really good scene in the movie, and really clever. I really liked it. But now we have to get into the negative part. This character starts out as this guy who's just all about his job, completely focused on his job. He doesn't want any distractions like a wife or a kid. And of course he completely ends up falling for Sherry, who also has a kid, interestingly enough. And yeah, him and the kid kind of bond a little bit, and the kid's supposed to be a karate expert, or not a karate expert, a black belt, and he manages to beat a trained FBI agent. Yeah, real good showcase of realism there, guys. And the guy who was never interested in a relationship at the beginning of the movie suddenly becomes, well, not suddenly becomes, but there's a scene where he comes off as this great love expert or something when this older gentleman comes to Big Mama's house. Roll credits. Okay, I'm not gonna keep making that joke because it only works when the media mentions it. Anyways, you probably seen Cinema Sins. Moving on. Okay, so he comes over to the house, basically looking for a booty call, and as Big Mama, he tells him, you can't do that. You gotta win a woman's heart through. You gotta show her what she means to you. And all this before him and Sherry have really had any interaction. Which, by the way, that's another negative. The romance. It's kind of forced. I mean, they interact maybe 2 times as their real selves. The rest of the time, it's just him as Big Mama. And I'm sorry. This really feels like an ass pull. And some of the gags get stolen from Mrs. Doubtfire, like he's moving around trying not to be seen out of his disguise. There's parts where he has like part of his mask off or part of it's coming undone, and he can't let people see the real him or he'll blow his cover. So yeah, that's done a lot better in other movies, like I said. And there's a scene where he plays basketball with Sherry's kid named Trent, and I gotta say, he moves pretty well in a fat suit. But some of the gags and setups are predictable, like when Sherry and Trent first come over to the house, he has to cook dinner for them, and of course he's completely terrible at it. And then, as himself, he goes with Sherry and Trent on a he goes fishing with the 2 of them, and he sucks at that too. Yeah, I saw that coming a million miles away. So yeah, some of the gags are a little bit predictable in this movie. And then towards the end of the movie, where everybody's having this big surprise party for Big Mama, the real Big Mama comes back from visiting her friend, and they try to do the twin gag where one of them gets confused for the other one, but I just didn't feel like they really exploited it to its full potential. I mean, yeah, it's a tired gag, we've seen it a million times, but still, you have potential for a great humor like that, and you don't really fully utilize it. That's a little bit disappointing. And of course, with a movie like this, we have the liar reveal. He gets found out, and Sherry hates him a little bit, and he goes to church and testifies tells the truth, and it kind of expresses how he feels. And of course, he gets the girl in the end, despite not having any real interaction. Well, very little real interaction, I should say. But yeah, like I said, this whole romance is completely forced. That was Big Mama's house. Not one of my favorites, but enjoyable enough. I mean, I did certainly laugh, which is what you're supposed to do when it's a comedy, and I wasn't bored by it, but I'm in no rush to get this on DVD. I mean, it's alright, but yeah, like I said, a lot of the jokes are predictable, and you can kind of guess some of the end results of some of these situations. But it's not bad. It's just kind of eh. But anyways, that's what I thought about Big Mama's house. Now I'm interested in what you think. Write down in the comments down below what you thought of this movie, if you've seen it, and if you haven't seen it, or if you're going to see it, or whatever. Just whatever you think. Oh, like what you see? And if you do, take a look down there. Yeah, just look right down there. You see that subscribe? Yeah, you should probably click that. Yeah, you want to see more? Go ahead and click that, and you'll know when you can see more. Anyways, I'm Ninja Greg. You've been watching the Ninja Greg Show. I'll see you next time.